German intelligence is sharing large swathes of telecommunications data with the US, according to latest revelations published in Der Spiegel magazine. Documents provided by whistleblower Edward Snowden show that the degree of surveillance cooperation between Berlin and Washington is higher than officials would like to admit. And let's now turn to RT's Peter Oliver, who's in Berlin, for more on that. So, Peter, nice to see you, as always. So, what exactly does Der Spiegel say? Tell us more.
Well, what these internal communications that have been leaked by Edward Snowden show is a rather cosy relationship between the National Security Agency and the German Foreign Intelligence Agency, the BND. Now, a lot of these documents in the latest article in Der Spiegel deal with a monitoring station that was based in Bavaria. Now, that closed in 2004. It was operated by the United States. Some of those memos talking in glowing terms about the nostalgia they had for the Bavarian countryside. After 2004, it was taken over by German operations, by the BND. Now, what we've seen that's come out from these documents of just how much data was being collected and then passed on to their American allies, the American partners in this system. It's quite outstanding, really. In December of last year alone, there were 500 million pieces of metadata collected from this monitoring station there. Now, what this is prompted is the German Justice Minister to give an interview to a national newspaper on Monday, in which she said that the BND must put all of the facts on the table about just how closely they were working alongside the NSA, saying that if the BND had made itself available as a tool for the NSA, that something must be done. Now, she didn't say exactly what must be done, but it does seem quite evident from these cables that have come out, these internal memos, and the fact of just how much data was being collated and distributed between the two agencies, that there certainly was a very close relationship. You couple that with one of these leaked documents from a couple of weeks ago, which referred to Gerhard Schindler, the head of the BND, as both showing an eagerness and desire to help the NSA, and it certainly seems that the two agencies were working incredibly closely indeed. All of that, of course, prompting questions from the German people about, well, just what were they listening into, what were they looking at, and what people were doing online.
Yeah, Peter, and what's the reaction to the news been?
Well, there's been shock here in Germany about just how much they've actually been looked into. We've seen Germany come out as probably the country in Europe that was most spied on by the NSA PRISM program, and also the fact that it seems that not only did Germany know that the United States were looking so closely into its citizens, it seems from these cables and memos that keep coming out that then, well, they were helping the NSA in their spying that was going on. Now, in response to this, we've seen demonstrations on the streets of Berlin, as well as many other cities around the country. People saying, well, just they needed people coming out in support of Edward Snowden, in support of Bradley Manning, but basically saying that this must stop, and that if Germany was involved, if it turns out that the BND were involved in spying on its own people, that they must be brought to book for that. Now, we have seen something of an attempt at face-saving from the German government. We have an election coming up here in the end of September, and of course this is all absolute golden information to the opposition leaders. And you hear them campaigning, they're saying, well, do you really want to trust those guys? Now they helped the Americans, it seems. Look into your private details. One of the things we have seen from the official side is the termination of a spying accord with both the United States and the United Kingdom. Now, this was a very old bit of legislation that dated back to the Cold War. It looked at when both the United Kingdom and the United States had a lot of soldiers based here in Germany, so that those nations could keep an eye on what those soldiers were doing. But in terms of the German people, well, there is shock and outrage at times of just how much they were spied on and how much their country seems to have helped that spying take place.
All right, RT's Peter Oliver, live from Berlin. Peter, thank you very much, as always. Thank you.